From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, this is the EntreLeadership podcast, where I take calls from leaders like you about what it takes to win at any stage of business and leadership. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, with over 30 years of experience leading in the trenches right alongside you. If you want to submit a question, go to EntreLeadership.com/ask or leave us a voicemail at 844-944-1070. We're glad you're here. Levi is in South Carolina, Greenville to be precise. Hi, Levi. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm a senior project manager at my family's construction business. We do commercial drywall and painting.
Mm-hmm.
We've got about 30 employees, and last year we did about $13 million in revenue.
Way to go, man.
So we've been in business for about 28 years, and our reputation of, speed and quality and doing good for the general contractors has been what's got us contracts over the years. And so lately, our competition is spending money, taking the general contractors, on hunting trips, fishing trips, golf trips, and stuff like that. We have never had to do that. And so my question is, at what point does doing that become unethical? And if it's not unethical, how do you play that game?
Well, it's not unethical, and the way you play the game is you take them on hunting and fishing trips. But the purpose of the trip is not to bribe someone if it's done ethically. It's just to build relationships. And it's standard practice in the subcontract world with commercial contractors. And so, I built a building that I'm sitting in here. There's 3 buildings we built on this campus for a total of several $100 million with a commercial contractor. I am very sure that the commercial contractor went on trips with some of the subs. But I also saw the competitive bids with the other subs. And we talked through the reputation for delivering. So all the hunting trip did would be, if it's done ethically, meaning if it's not bribing someone to do something they shouldn't do, is to keep their name on the list. And then they've still got to win the bid with their production and with their pricing. And that's the ones I'm aware of that are done ethically. It's a relationship building thing for someone that's a good customer that's been with you for many, many years. So if a GC uses you guys and gives you guys, you did $13 million top line and you got one GC that you did $2 million with last year, if you took them on a trip, that's just a thank you. And you're not doing it with any expectation that they owe you the next job. You've still got to earn it with pricing and with service. That's ethical. But now, if someone's going on a trip and they get the job, even though they're overpriced and don't deliver quality, and the only reason they got the job was a hunting trip, then that's a bribe. Agreed?
Yes, sir. I guess that was my question, is kind of where was the line?
Yeah, the line is the intent and the result. Is the intent to, if you take them on the trip and then you expect them to give you the bid on the next job no matter what, even though you're 20% over the other people because of a hunting trip, well, that's unethical.
Yes.
But if your expectation is, these are good guys, I work with them all the time, they give me a lot of business, I want to say thank you. We've taken advertisers that have advertised and spent millions of dollars with us to a World Series game. We've done, as thank yous, we've taken people to baseball games or football games or whatever, stuff like that. But these are people that are big customers. But then when we get home, the advertising still has to work for them, and we still have to get paid for it. Nothing changed in the formula, but it's just it's a tip of the hat and a grin and say thank you. And again, there's nothing unethical about that at all. But if the only reason you got business was because of the trip, then that's just bribery, and that's where the ethics breaks down. So it does sound like you probably need to add that to a line item in your budget to take some of your biggest customers and do some nice things for them or with them, and maybe do something different than other people do. But, I've been on pheasant hunts in situations like that, and there wasn't anything torrid or bad going on as a result of it. And, and again, it has to do with the result and with the intent. Is the intent to create an entitled situation? Well, that's unethical. If the intent is just to say thank you for a quality relationship, that's ethical. If the result is you get a bid you shouldn't have gotten without the hunting trip, then that's bribery and that's unethical. And in some contract situations, it could be illegal, technically then. So, and I'll go so far as to say this, purchasing agents that buy for companies like, say, Walmart and stuff like that, most of those people are, it's a corporate rule, they're unable to accept gifts. Just so there's never any hanky-panky going on because they're doing stuff at such scale that they can't monitor if something's turned unethical or not. If it can't be weird, right? And so, like I've sent somebody a pizza or something and they send me an email and say, thank you, but I can't take the pizza. I had to throw it away. I mean, they're that careful. They're that weird about it in some cases. And again, I wasn't bribing them. I was just saying, thanks, thanks for the business and thanks for a $10 million order, for God's sakes, or whatever it is, And, but again, in your world, I'm familiar enough with it to go, it's a pretty standard practice. And yes, sometimes it does probably go over the line. But you don't have to in order to use this as a relationship builder in this particular situation. Yeah, that's the plan. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. I've been running a business for over 30 years, and technology has changed a lot. Now the hot topic is AI. And I understand it might be intimidating, but like a lot of other tech that took some getting used to, AI is just a tool to help us work faster and smarter. So you'd better get on board, otherwise you're going to get left behind. NetSuite by Oracle offers AI-powered tools that help small businesses improve efficiency and make smarter decisions by bringing all major business processes into one platform. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth for the real-time data you need to take advantage of opportunities. Then you can forecast better, scale more efficiently, and streamline manual tasks that take too many resources away from what your business actually does. So join the more than 41,000 businesses, including Ramsey Solutions, that trust NetSuite to help tackle some of their biggest challenges. And right now you can download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Ramsey. It's free at netsuite.com/Ramsey. Well, if you missed out on attending Summit this year, but you're thinking about next spring, we'd love to have you. I want to give you one of our most popular talks from Summit for free. When you watch it, you'll get fresh leadership strategies that'll make a difference in your business this week. After you watch it, ask yourself, what would 4 days of content like this do for our business and for our leadership? To watch this popular talk for free, go to EntreLeadership.com/sample talk. Or click the link in the show notes if you're listening on YouTube or the podcast. Micah is in Phoenix. Hey, Micah, how are you?
I'm great, sir. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I work in a fast food business in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm the director of development. We have about 110 employees, and last year we did about $13 million in sales.
Okay, cool.
My question is, how can I inspire leaders to hold our team accountable and help them to make proactive decisions?
Help them make what decisions?
Proactive. Instead, we tend to make reactive decisions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It starts at the hiring. Okay. And as you're hiring, you say, here, the leaders in this organization are proactive and they are accountable. And so we have a regular meeting rhythm, and you need to establish a regular meeting rhythm with your leaders where you hold them accountable, where you support them, where you help them knock down problems that they have, roadblocks that they have, and where you hold them accountable for being proactive and accountable for production and accountable for behavior and accountable for being a quality leader, right? And that's right. Those meetings are where you mentor them, where you help them. Sometimes they'll bring something to you they can't fix without your help, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's your job as their leader, is to knock down roadblocks. My job's to pave the road for my other leaders. That's my job.
Right.
And so, you take that real seriously. You take an interest in their personal lives. You take an interest in their personhood, and you love them well. And you're there for them. If they're having a bad time at home, you're helping them. If the kid's sick, you help them, any way you can, whatever it is that's going on. And we're going to be held accountable. We're going to talk about it, not once at an annual review and not once at a culture or not at a quarterly culture meeting or training or something. No, we're going to meet every week or every other week until as long as you're here and have a talk about this. And so I have one-on-ones with key leaders here at Ramsey weekly. And and then our president, my son, does as well. And then each of the leaders in the organization does, and each of the leaders of leaders does, and so on, all the way through this place. We've got a standard rhythm. We don't wait until once a year to do some kind of corrective action. But you start with setting the table at the hire. This is what we expect. You may not want to join us if you're not open to this idea of initiative and being very proactive and open to us working as a team, which looks like this. We're going to be in this regular meeting rhythm of once every 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever it is, where you and I sit and talk for an hour about how things are going everywhere. And you're telling me help spots that you need, and I'm telling you, I'm telling you where corrective action needs to take place, or what's going on with this or that, and you coach them through some of the drama of the people they're leading, because there's always drama when you're leading people. I mean, it's just part of it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how many direct reports do you have?
Our leadership structure isn't as defined as I'd like it to be. I would have responsibility for the leaders, and there's probably somewhere about 15 to 20.
Okay. Who do you report to?
My executive director. He's the co-operator of the store. Of
a single store or several stores?
Yeah, a single store. I work at a Chick-fil-A, so we just have our location.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Chick-fil-A does a pretty good job at this. They've been training people to do what I'm talking about for years. So, but I think you sit down with your executive director, which is the partner in the store, right?
Yeah. He's the operator's son. He's been at that store for 20 plus years.
Okay, cool. Oh, they know what they're doing, as you know. And Absolutely. So I'm going to sit down with them and go, okay, how can I do this? And I'll give you a suggestion to bring up with him. I don't know their internal store organizational structure. We've done a lot. They're families, friends of ours. We've done a lot of work with them over the years. We've helped them with things. They've helped us with things. We're a big customer. We eat this stuff all the time. But having said all of that, I don't know what I'm talking about. But in general, a 1 to 15 reporting structure is too much.
Okay.
In general, most people say 1 to 5 to 1 to 7. Something like that.
5 to 1 to 7.
Yeah, that's in general. The military, for instance, use a 1 to 5 ratio in most of their org charts. And because the problem is you can't heavily invest in 15 people at once, emotionally and everything else. And you have 15 leaders in one store? These are like shift managers or something.
Shift managers.
Okay.
Because we're 6 days a week. That was part of, while you were talking, I was wondering how I can connect with all of them, because they work 5:30 in the morning to 10:30, 11 at night.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time doing that, and partly because there's 15 of them. But, it might be that you and the partner split these two things up. It might be that they can report to you, but you are only doing the accountability rhythm meetings with them once every 2 weeks with only 7 of them, and he takes 7 of them.
Okay.
Or something like that. I don't know. Y'all talk about it and figure it out. I'm not going to die on this hill, but it's just, it's very difficult to, especially as hard as you guys work and the hours being so wild, that it's very difficult for you to spend enough time to hold someone accountable. And other than just hit or miss as a drive-by, and sometimes that can get a little bit sloppy or a lot sloppy. So, I prefer a standard meeting rhythm for accountability, proactivity, investing into the leaders. How can I help? How can I serve you? And then you can just say, it's my pleasure. I love it. It doesn't get any better than that. I love it. So, fun stuff. That's a great company you work for, by the way. They're good people. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is the podcast where small business people and other leaders tune in to learn how it's really done, because I'm not about theory. I'm about practicality. I do this personally every day, and I have for almost 40 years now run a business. And so, yeah, I do know what I'm doing, and it's not theory. I make payroll. I know what it's like. And we get payables paid and receivables received. I mean, we know what it's like. We know what the drama is. We know what how the pizza's made, baby. And so we're here to help you with real stuff. If you want to talk leadership theory, you're going to have to go somewhere else, because I'm going to teach you what to do. And maybe why to do it, but generally what to do. Just go do it. Shut up. Get it done. And that's going to be me. So glad you're here. Thank you for being with us. If you want to join us, we'd love to have you. 844-944-1070 is the number. Thanks for hanging out. Chris is in Waco, Texas. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hello, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call today. I really appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
Yeah, so my question for you today is it time for me to leave my family business? I am the president and owner of a property maintenance and landscape business. We have about 18 employees and a few handful of subcontractors. And we do about $1.8 million a year in revenue. And yeah, so long story short, I'm just really seeking some guidance here. I don't know if it's time for me to leave, because it's just one event after another. I started this. Well,
I thought, did you not just tell me you're the president and the owner?
I am, yes.
So you're wanting to fire you?
Yes, that is correct, Dave. That is correct.
What did you do wrong?
I know, right? That's a good question. But
no, I mean, if you're in control, what is driving you out of this thing? I don't understand.
Well, yeah, that's a great question, and I have some context to that. So it was actually a family business that started in the early 2000s that was kind of founded by my father. It was just an opportunity that fell in his lap, and it was very lucrative. It was very lucrative for the family, and it required minimum effort. In fact, it was able to send me and my other siblings to school. We were able to get an education. And as I was in my career, I saw that the business was still, fairly lucrative with minimal effort. And I thought to myself, I said, hey, I really think if we actually put some effort into this and really get some things systematized and some policies and procedures in place, I really think that we can do well for the family and leave a legacy. And so as I was wrestling with that decision, I asked God for some clarity. And as I was on my way to work, a random man came up to me and he pretty much told me, again, I don't know this person from a can of paint. And he told me, he said, young man, it's time for you to leave. And I took that as my sign to leave and join my family business. So in short, I left my career. I joined the family business, and as I got involved with the family business, I just saw so much mismanagement, Dave. It was unbelievable.
Let me fast forward to today. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. For sure.
Today you own it.
For sure. Yes.
And today you're the president.
Correct.
Okay. So if something's broken, why don't you fix it?
So that's the thing. So I have been really doing my best to fix the issues that have been in place. But for whatever reason, it just seems to just always be these circumstances that I find myself in that are just black swan events, for the lack of better words. Just for example, I landed a few jobs. Things were going well, and as soon as I land a job, maybe my client or something, they may reduce my offerings, and I have to take a significant pay cut in terms of the amount of work that I'm supposed to provide to my clients. And that leaves me in a very tough situation where I have all of these fixed costs, but I don't get the expected revenue that I have in front of me. With that being said, too, my labor rates just astronomically went up about 30 to 40% within the past 6 months, just due to some prevailing wage requirements that I have absolutely zero control over. And it just caused me to have to back pay employees. And it's just something that it was just completely unforeseen and not much that I could really...
I'm sorry, what wage requirements did the state of Texas put on a landscaper?
So I do a lot of governmental work.
Oh. You don't have to.
I don't. And
Okay.
again,
then there goes your wage requirements. The government doesn't get to tell me what I pay people. Screw them. I'd rather not have them as a customer.
And that's where I find myself in this place. You know, I have obligations now.
I'm not gonna cave to the wage requirements. I'm gonna cancel the contract and get a contract with somebody who doesn't tell me how to run my own business.
And that leaves me into a situation now because I've thought about that. I've wrestled with that. But if I decide to cancel that contract, that exposes me to some monetary damages.
No, not if they're coming in and telling you to change your wages. They've canceled the contract. You don't get. I have a contract that says I provide this for you, and I don't have a wage requirement. And then you come in and superimpose a wage requirement on that. Screw you. Mm-hmm. We don't have a contract anymore. You need to get a lawyer, dude.
And this thing, I have one, and that's what my legal team kind of told me is that I can be liable and he'll, for liquidable damages if.
How long did you sign a contract to cut the grass for the government?
Well, it's facility maintenance with grass cutting, but this contract is for 4 years, and we'll be concluding year one this upcoming July. So I'm on the hook for another 3 more years, and I'm trying.
After you signed the contract, they came in and superimposed wage requirements. The feds did.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, but in short, the wage requirements that they had, the state did not give me accurate wages, and what happened was.
Oh, it's the state.
Correct.
Okay.
They didn't give me current wages at the time where I submitted my bid. And prior to me submitting my bid, I'm calling the Department of Labor, I'm calling every agency.
So you did $1.7 million. How much of this is that crap?
About 1.2.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so you got to go get a bunch of private business gathered up to offset this mistake until this mistake goes away. Yeah, because you devalued the business. You ran your expenses up without because you didn't read your contract, didn't know what the RFP was, and you didn't understand the request for proposal gave them the ability to run your business for you, which I would have told them to get screwed and drop the proposal. No, thank you. I don't need them in my business. Only the government going through my underwear drawer. No, thank you. And they'll screw up Christmas, state or local or feds. Sure. If they were brilliant, they'd be doing something else. Sure. So no, we're not. I'd get out of that. So I mean, you may be on the hook for that, but I'm going to provide minimal, functional, and get through that thing. And I'm going to go back to them and ask them if there's anything they'll do to release me from the contract because the wages that they superimposed are killing me. And I'm going to ask for mercy and ask to be released. Meantime, I'm going to go get a bunch of other business. It's not stupid government stuff.
Yeah.
You thought you hit the lottery, and instead you got sucked in to a mess.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that synopsis, Dave.
Yeah, and then that took your hope away, and now you want to just give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Absolutely. Fight. Get your business back. Don't let them close you down with one bad decision. Mm-hmm. You can push your way through this. Go get $4 million worth of other private yards to cut or whatever it is you're doing, facility management, that is not superimposing wages on you. Build a set of wages around that with a separate division of the company that's not superimposed by the government, and then run this government contract out or ask them to get out of it and keep running the thing, man. Keep running it. But, yeah, what made it complicated was when you involved the bureaucrats.
Yeah.
And that's the end of peace. Peace leaves my life when I have bureaucrats enter my life. Things were going good until the bureaucrats showed up. I was kind of having fun until the bureaucrats showed up. Yeah, the bureaucrats really showed up during like COVID. They all of a sudden thought they had all kinds of power that they didn't have too. That was fun. It was fun to get to tell them to stick it. And it's the reason I have my name on the side of the building, so I can tell you, stick it. You can't do this. You don't get to tell me what to do here. It's not how this works. And you kind of got to get that thing going, that arrogance, if you want to call it that. I don't care if you call it that, if you call it confidence, or if you call it courage. It's the reason I work for myself, so I don't have to put up with people like that. Good God. I don't think we want to be associated with a company that doesn't require masks. I don't think I want to be associated with a company that wants to tell me how to run my business. You got confused. I was simply providing you with XYZ. You don't get to come over here and dictate policy inside these walls, you doober. Cancel that one, $1.2 million. Cancel that one, $3 million. Cancel that one. I canceled a bunch of them. It was just glorious. But it hurt the old pocketbook, but it reminded me who was in charge, me and God, not the bureaucrats, and not some woke idiot at another company dictating to me how I'm going to pay wages or how I'm going to do what here. I'm going to abide by the federal law, but that's all I'm going to do. And that's the maximum I'm going to do. The rest of it is get your filthy hands off my stuff. And that's why I own my own thing, guys, because I'm that old grouchy dude. I'm that guy. I'm Oscar on Sesame Street, right? I mean, that's it. So, but it's also what caused me to be able to grow this thing and not give up. So, Chris, get grouchy, buddy. Get pissed off about this, about people trying to run your family business. It was going good till the government got involved. I mean, good Lord. Ronald Reagan used to say that. He said, the scariest words in the world are when someone says, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah, that's the scariest phrase on the planet. So I'm sorry you got caught up in that. I hope you can find a way to get out of that contract and turn that crap back over to them so they quit running your business, or find a way to survive it and not just collapse under the weight of this one error that you made. And, brother, we've all made bigger mistakes than that one. I definitely have, and I've survived them. That's how this works. Wow. You're a good man, Chris. Keep fighting. Don't bend, man. Push your way right through it and learn from your mistakes. And next time you won't sign one of those contracts without actually knowing what it says. All that kind of stuff. Ouch. Thanks for joining us. We're glad you're here. I want you to keep in mind, 54% of the gross domestic product in America's economy is produced by small businesses with 500 or fewer team members. That means over half of our economy is generated by those of you that own and operate small businesses. And yet, it feels sometimes like you're out here alone. Well, you're not. There's a bunch of us. And you're not. I love you. I got your back. I'll fight for you. I think you're the best. I think you deserve to win. I think you're one of the things that makes America great is people starting something new. It's people fighting to keep something free, the free enterprise system. It's like liberty and stuff. The free enterprise system represents free Americans' right to go do something. You live in one of these other stinking communist countries, you can't do this. You can't just decide one morning I'm in business. My dad gets his lawnmower and starts a family lawn business in 2000, and now here I am 25 years later, he was saying, running this thing, and now the government gets involved and takes away my freedom and starts telling me what to do. That stuff pisses me off at a personal level because it's happened to me and it's happened to you guys too. You operate in America. This is the land of the free. Oh, and by the way, in order for it to be free, it's the home of the brave. So be brave. Be courageous. Fight for your freedom in the marketplace. And I'm not talking about physically fighting. I'm not talking about bringing a war or something, but it's a metaphor to remind you that it's tough out there in the market, and sometimes we step on our own toes and bruise them. I've done that more times than other people have stepped on mine. The biggest mistakes at Ramsey have been my fault, not somebody outside this place attacking us. It's just been stupid butt stuff I've done. So you're your own worst enemy most of the time if you're listening to this. But that's okay. You can even survive that stupidity. But you learn from it and you go on and you're courageous to keep going. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. So fight. Roll up your sleeves, throw your shoulders back, push through, because you represent over half of the economy. And more than that, philosophically and economically, you represent freedom. When you decide, I'm going to start my own business and run my own business, and I'm going to make payroll, and I'm going to provide jobs, and I'm going to treat the people that work at my place right. I'm going to take good care of them. See, family business takes good care of their own people. They don't piss on them like corporate America does. Corporate America will set you on the sidewalk just to change their stock price, and then your house will be in foreclosure. We don't treat our team that way. We fight to protect our team. We keep them too long when they're screwing up. We're too graceful, too merciful with them. Corporate America doesn't do that. Corporate America slit your throat just to see if you will bleed. And we all know that. Everybody walking around since knows what I'm talking about. So here's the deal. It is worth fighting for, but it is sometimes lonely. You feel like you're by yourself. You're not by yourself. It is sometimes you live with the regret of the stupid stuff you've done that's still in the rearview mirror, but thank God the rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield. That's called grace. My sins are in my past. I got new ones in my future. New things I get to try and do and be in my future with the wisdom that came from the scars from that mistake I made or mistakes I made. And that's what we do when we're running a business, boys and girls. If you thought this was a hockey stick up and to the right and easy, you read the wrong book, honey. This is hard. It's just worth it because you get to maintain your dignity and you get to maintain your freedom. Jennifer is in Knoxville. Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I am a dentist and I own my own practice. We made about $1.2 million last year.
Good
and I
for
have
you.
5 employees.
How many employees?
Yes, 5.
5. Excellent. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I'm in a sort of a duplex that I own, and my tenant recently left. I have about $500,000 left on the building, and I want to expand into that other space and use the cash reserves in my practice to pay the loan off. If I do that, it'll leave me with about 2 months of cash reserves left. So I'm really want to do that, but I don't know if it's wise or not.
Give me the numbers. How much is in the bank right now?
So I have $690, and
the loan balance is what?
$500.
Okay, so you'd have $200,000, and you're making $100,000 a month top line.
Yes, I'm saving. I'm putting in my cash reserves close to $40,000 to $50,000.
Wow, you're not taking much home.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so we're dealing with $700, and we owe $550 or $590. What was it? What?
$500. I owe $500.
$500. I wrote it down so sloppily I couldn't read my writing. Okay. $500. Okay. Yeah, I'm paying off that loan.
Okay. Even with just 2 months left.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
and I'm okay with not expanding the practice until you build it back up a little bit if you want. What's it going to cost to build out the space for you? Because the equipment's expensive as crud, isn't it?
It really is, but it turns out it used to be a dental office, so it's already plumbed and ready to go. So I just have to put
so confused. You had a dentist next door to a dentist?
Who's a specialist, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and it's just been an admin building for a long time. So once I found out that there were 3 treatment rooms, it basically doubles the size of my practice.
But
and then I can have an associate
chairs and all that junk. To equip this, what's it going to cost you to get it up and running?
Probably I've factored in just regular renovations into the numbers I gave you, and then probably another $50 to finish it out.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the $500 is not the loan amount?
No, the $500 is the loan amount, but I factored into the amount of savings that I have.
You've already reduced it by the renovation cost.
Correct.
I see. Okay, so how much do you actually have in cash?
I'm close to 7.
You're going to do the renovations for 10? I thought you told me you had $690.
No, I do have $690, but in my expenses, I already have money set aside. I've already kind of paid for some renovations to happen.
Okay, where is that money? Out of your monthly budget or your operating budget?
No, I took it out of I already took it out of my savings. I've already started renovating. The question is, I just don't know if I need to pay off.
Are you hiring another dentist?
Yes.
Have you found that person?
No. But I've been to the school and I have a few that I'm interviewing.
Okay. So there's no, this train's left the station is what we're saying. The only question is the loan.
Correct.
Okay, so there's two options. In either option, we're going to finish the renovation with the cash you've already set aside, and we're going to hire a dentist, and we're opening up as soon as possible. And what's the timeline on all of that?
Probably 3 months.
Okay. And so probably be making cash flow by the end of the year. On that new dentist and on those new hygienists.
Correct.
Yeah, you got to get them hired, get them in there, get them trained, and you think you have enough customer base to add to it pretty quick.
Yes, we're booking out 3 months.
Yeah,
as it is.
Yeah, so yeah, you do. Okay. But what I'm trying to figure out is when this thing's going to quit bleeding and start supplementing the rebuild of your cash base. That's what's running through my head. And I'm trying to measure that against the 200, and I'm trying to measure that about how much risk we're really taking by going ahead and paying this off. Because you could either pay it off today or you could wait 3 months and then pay it off. And you're probably sitting in a different place then.
Yes, definitely. But my loan is at 5 years, and you have to renew it every 5 years. So I'll have to sort of start over with a loan anyway.
Oh, it's coming up in the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's information I didn't have earlier. Wow, we painted ourselves into the corner. We get one choice. Really. I don't think it's a bad choice. It's not the end of the world. I love being debt-free, and I love being debt-free with a big old pile of cash more. And so that's what I'm trying to work on in this scenario. It's what's running the math back and forth here. But yeah, I'm paying it off. Paying it off. And then you're just going to have to really concentrate and spend a lot of your calories getting the new people making an ROI, making a return on investment.
Yes, sir.
Because otherwise, the 190 that's left could start to burn on you. And if that starts to burn, now I'm getting scared.
Yeah, it's just tight, but paying it all, like not being able to pay it all off. I'm also going to be paying rent, which I'm paying rent to myself, so I have that money that can come back to me. It
doesn't matter. The shell's still got a P under it. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It's like putting a payphone in your own house. It's the same thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's just a way to keep books and taxes and so forth. But it's still your money. It's still cash flow, or it's not cash flow. One of the two. Yeah, I pay myself rent too, but that's just because I've got. Oh, anyway. All right. Yeah, yes, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to manage it. And here's the thing: I also am counting on the fact that in talking to you, you are very impressive in how dialed in on this stuff you are. You're a detail person, and you've run these projections back and forth to the point that you've done them right before you go to sleep, and you're doing them right when you wake up. You're really focused and accurate, and I think that's going to add to how quick this thing turns and how good this is going to be. If you were sloppy, running around chaotic in our conversation, I'd probably tell you to hold off and redo the loan. But you're not. You're so precise that I think that you probably even got other wiggle room you hadn't even told me about. And so I think you're going to be fine because of who you are and how detailed you are. Very impressive, Jennifer. Very impressive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you calling in. It's very, very cool stuff. Hey, man, it's people like that. It's what makes the world go around. Shut up, baby. Hey, remember, better a weary warrior than a quivering critic. This world needs more high-quality leaders. So take courage and lead. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thanks for listening to the EntreLeadership Podcast.